Hi, I'm Falz. I'm a certified standing seam roofing specialist, and for the past 3 years, I've been working in experimental mode. I run a hands-on training workshop where I carry out my most interesting and in-depth experiments. My focus is on training in double-lock standing seam roofing. It's no secret that many problems arise today because it's very difficult to teach the younger generation, Zoomers, how to perform the double-lock seam correctly. I have my own view on this. We now live through a digital revolution and the rise of neural networks which greatly assist and simplify the work of vocational trainers, methodologists, and construction college instructors who teach metal roofing. These technological developments form the basis of my approach. I also have original ideas about how to teach and train today. Teaching and learning are two distinct activities. In the world of standing seam roofing, people fall into two groups: students who need instruction on how to install a standing seam roof, and teachers, craftsmen, and methodologists who understand how the system works and must convert their experience and knowledge into practical skills for learners. My aim is to turn a student's knowledge first into a skill, then into habitual practice. To achieve this, I'm developing two parallel directions. One is aimed at teachers, methodologists, and master craftsmen. The other is experimental educational content developed directly by me. My guiding principles are simple. First, we must explain to students why they should strive to work so that the roof does not leak after their job is done. This is a fundamental question that, in my view, few people address. Students need a solid understanding of why they must work honestly, precisely, and professionally. At the start of my courses, I introduce the 7 commandments of the roofer, a moral code that governs a folder's conduct with himself and with others. Second, after instilling a mindset of neatness, professionalism, and responsibility, we begin teaching technique using my newest method, which I invented in April 2026. It's called Ask the Seam. This comprehensive method reflects our digital age. We can literally draw educational materials out of thin air. By out of thin air, I mean the vast amount of visual content already on the internet, especially on YouTube, made by practicing folder masters, instructional videos, promotional clips, and real-world footage. This raw material is abundant, and because we are professionals, we can select and curate precisely what we need. With the help of tools in the Google ecosystem, particularly NotebookLM available on Android and PC, we can transform that raw material into structured educational content. Using NotebookLM, we can build presentations, audio podcasts, and a variety of lesson formats. The platform gives us broad possibilities for content creation. Because we prepare tailored educational content for each teacher, methodologist, and master craftsman, we have essentially unlimited opportunities to design learning specifically for Zoomers, today's young people whose learning styles and expectations differ markedly from those of 20 years ago. Teaching methods have significantly changed, and many long-established companies and institutions are struggling. Trainers and industrial instructors who have taught the same way for decades often fail to meet modern challenges. That is why I developed a new world-class approach, Ask the Seam. The method allows a trainee to move from a flat drawing, pattern, or paper layout to a tactile, three-dimensional understanding. First, the learner translates a drawing into folded seam coloring. Then they observe the compact assembly on a rolling simulator. This step is mandatory to create a complete 3D model of any seam roofing element. Beyond seeing the model, the trainee can engage in a dialogue with the fold itself, hence the name Ask the Seam. What does the trainee ask the fold? One essential question: how to form the double lock seam correctly so that it is watertight. The ultimate goal is clear. After the specialist's work, the folded seam does not leak. That is the main criterion. I invite anyone interested, training groups from any country, to try this new method. I'm ready to run master classes and share my technique, which I believe is more effective than conventional methods, often by a factor of 5, 6, or even 10, depending on the learning objectives, starting in April 2026. I regularly demonstrate Ask the Seam on my YouTube channel, where you can see the tip of the iceberg of how the method works. A full understanding, however, remains behind closed doors because the method requires meticulous attention to detail. I offer my services to training centers worldwide. Any educational staff may contact me. I can help produce teaching materials, brief brochures, or a detailed instructional film about my methodology. Especially, I invite institutions in Germany, since my method was developed at a German folding school that I greatly respect. I'm a devoted admirer of this long-standing European tradition of folder mastery. Try my new Ask the Seam method. It's 5 to 10 times more effective than conventional methods. Sign up for master classes, contact me, and I'll help your training group master the double lock seam so the roof never leaks.
Your fact about the Ask the Seam method. What's the secret? You learn to see a detail in 3D through a 2D drawing, understanding the logic of water and metal. Good for beginners? Perfect. We remove the fear of the material and train your hand correctly from day one. Why double standing seam? It's the most watertight connection in the world. Master it and you're at the top of the roofing industry. Why use I? The Falz AI assistant analyzes all content PDFs, manuals, and helps master ZVDH regulations. It visualizes complex details in seconds. This is your competitive edge. Does it increase income? Installation speed increases by 2 to 3 times with flawless quality. Hard to unlearn old ways. Self-taught habits are hard to break. We teach from scratch using the hybrid seam system. 6-month cycle. Perfect for carpenters, builders, and dyers. Where to practice? In your own workshop using the Universal Roofing Trainer. No travel needed. Just submit your homework and pass the test. Why the trainer? It's your flight simulator. Practice complex details in the comfort of your shop, not at 30 feet in the rain. What is it? A modular engineering roof simulator, structure 1900 by 1800 by 1800 millimeters, made of standard 1 boards. Practice valleys, ridges, and pipes for at least 2 hours a day.
Carpenter, do you want to earn more? Yes! Then why are you standing there? Run to Falz! First time hearing the sound of the shift. Forget the boards, boy, let the perspective lift. Alex Falz in the cut, yeah, he's tearing the page. Writing new code for the carpenter's age. Screen glowing neon, the model is spinning in space. Tripling the output, we're setting the pace. Compact the assembly, the system is lean. Look at the edges, look at the seam. Ridge, hip, valley, E. The false coloring logic is the web we weave. 3D vision, yeah, the blueprint is live. 3D vision, yeah, the blueprint's alive. From the old timber dust to the metal drive. Falz, Map out the fold, trading the sawdust for shimmering gold. Don't guess at the angle, don't measure the waste. We're building the future with systemic haste. Compact the connection, the layout is clear. The geometry speaks and the error is mere. Alex Falz, man, the methodology's tight. Work smarter, harder, into the night. Rich, rich, hip, rich, hip, hip, valley, valley, E, 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 E. The false coloring logic is the web we weave. 3D vision, yeah, the blueprint is live. 3D vision, yeah, the blueprint's alive. From the old timber dust to the metal drive. Falz, Falz, get on the Falz. 3 times faster, the tension is real. Forged in the method, tempered in steel. It's not just the trade, it's the way that we think. Step to the model, don't blink, don't blink. 40 days, one methodology. Alex Falz. Don't just build it, engineer it now.